This vlog is to go with the dash cam footage of 2 cows crossing the road. So we're driving down the road, and we actually literally had to slow down and stop in the road because 2 cows were crossing the road.
Middle of a village.
In the middle of a village. Alright, 2 things. Number 1, you guys want to know what it's like living in the van, G's pooing right now. So if you hear him screaming in the background, it's what he does when he poos. The second thing is, we just got stopped for the first time.
Yeah, in El Salvador.
In El Salvador, and it looked like a fairly normal, like, setup roadblock.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing it on the way in, but they were very professional. They asked for all the documents, reviewed them, and told us to have a good day.
Yeah.
They didn't come in the van or anything like that.
My passport, my driver's license, and asked for the paperwork that showed we had the temporary import for the van. We had all 3 things. 3 minutes, we were gone.
Yeah.
Very nice and polite.
Yep. What are you doing, bud? Huh? So we've been behind, I believe it's a Collectivo, we're not sure. But there's 2, they look like they're in military uniforms, don't they, Snow?
Yeah, I think they're military.
I think they're military, they have the big guns. Snow kept saying, you never get used to this.
No.
But they passed us a ways ago, and we've been behind them, and now we're going through this little village market, and so traffic's really slow. And they're kind of checking out the van.
Yeah, you guys are getting a good look at them too now.
Yeah, you guys can see what it's like to travel through El Salvador. Alright guys, we just stopped and had a bit of breakfast. Now we're behind a cement truck. But Snow's been driving all day. It's a couple hours under her belt already. She's doing a phenomenal job.
That's right.
Hats off to her. We're cutting through some new territory. There's a big volcano right outside. I believe it's Volcan de San Miguel. But we'll never get tired of looking at these big volcanoes. And sort of in the basin of these things, you get these really lush areas with tropical plants and pretty flowers. And then the houses are really sort of a mix of, you know, sort of the more simple life houses where there's sustenance living, chickens, turkeys, goats, that type of thing, pigs. And then all of a sudden you have some really nice houses pop up, really modern, nice houses pop up right next to them. So it's a very interesting scenery and landscape as we drive across this area headed south. There's a guy carrying a hatchet and a hammer. Snow, you got anything to say about the drive?
No, it's just these roads are really beautiful, but they take concentration. Low power lines, low trees, kids, potholes. So I'm focusing.
She's focusing. Now, one good thing I should say is there's every bit as much as the big buses for the public transportation. I guess in Guatemala we call them chicken buses. I'm not sure what they're technically called, but anyway. And there's not nearly as many Tumulos, which is nice as well.
I was gonna go, and then that car was going. Just go anyway.
So I really want to hike up that volcano. I was trying to talk Snow into it.
No.
And she said
Volcano hikes are extremely limited for Curt.
I'm grounded, so which actually that's a pretty intense hike from what I understand. It's maybe about 6 or 8, and I'm gonna save myself for something a little more, I don't know how to say it, special. So one of the things about El Salvador, we haven't found as many camp spots as we were finding in Mexico and Guatemala. They're a little bit more scarce and hard to find. There's certainly not as many on iOverlander, even though kind of as we're traveling across the countryside, we see spots. They're not always where we were intending to stay. So, but anyway, they're hard to find, and a lot of the spots we were finding are really far from level.
Yeah.
And so last night we had a beautiful spot, but we were slanted one way the hard way. And we've been talking about getting something to shim and level the van for a long way.
So before we left the United States, we went back and forth on whether or not we would need leveling blocks for our van. We decided not to get them because they take up quite a bit of space. But there's been several times it sure would have been nice to be able to lift the front, the back, or one side of the van up just an inch or two. It would have made it a lot easier for the shower, for washing dishes, and for sleeping. So we've been talking for a while about we just really need to, was my idea actually, just get a couple of slats of wood cut the size of the tires and just find a place we can carry those in the back of the van. And then last night we slept pretty crooked. Leaning pretty hard my way. So Curt was rolling over all night. And then so today we've passed a couple of places, you know, in these little village towns and on these mountain roads where they sell wood. And finally Curt said, pull into the next one we see. So we just saw one. I've pulled over on the side of the road. Curt has walked back there to see if he could get this guy to sell us a piece of wood and cut it up kind of in the right sizes for us. So fingers crossed, because it would be nice to have the next time we end up at a camp that is a little crooked. So we will see what he comes back with.
All right, I should have done this a long time ago. We stopped off at the wood store to get a couple shims for shimming up the van, for helping level it or whatever. So we came to this wood store. Of course, you guys know my Spanish is limited, and their English is as well. So, but I think we figured it out and we're able to come to agreement. So for $5, I'm gonna get me some things to level the van when we're parked on slopes.
What are those, Curt?
All right, this is what I got.
All right.
Shims for the van for leveling. Looks like they're about 2.5 or 3 inches thick.
Yeah.
And they're pretty solid and beefy. $5 for the group.
All right.
So now I gotta find a place to put them.
We'll see if those help.
and snow whipped it into a place. And they were all kind of chuckling when I walked up there. They're like, where did this guy come from? Looking for just a piece of wood. They cut it in to 3 pieces for us. So we're in good shape. We're gonna be more level now.
Yeah, we'll see, right?
So yeah, Snow just pointed out how jungly and tropically this is. And I think we already pointed out that sort of at the base of these volcanoes, it's really beautiful. But it really reminds us of the road over by Santa Ana, where we came down through there, and the Ruta de Flores when we first sort of entered. But very scenic, unexpected drive across here, and really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I got good wood.
That's not good.
Well, we did get good wood.
Yeah, it's not good.
So we pretty much drove all the way around, or like halfway around the San Miguel volcano. And as soon as we got around it and turned the corner, we're headed south towards the coast. But we came upon another volcano. Now I looked on the maps, I couldn't find what this volcano's name is, but I actually think there's like 20 or 30 volcanoes in El Salvador, so they're all over the place. But it's always beautiful to just look up at them, and yeah, there they are. Actually, I think there's 2 there.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. It's one way.
Well, we're going. We'll just turn up here, right?
Yeah. This might be the turn anyway. There's a stop sign here, so it's definitely not one way. But this is the turn. Good job.
Anything coming your way?
Nope, you got it. Alright, a lot of activity going on. We just had to make a big turn coming through the town. In like a lot of these small towns, the roads are very crowded. And people just like park in the road. They just park there. And so 2-lane road out of nowhere becomes a 1-lane road. And that frequently happens. And yeah, it's been happening the whole way. San George. DJ San Jorge. So these roundabouts are fairly common in Latin America. And again, it's not like there's a ton of big roads. So whenever you get on an intersection where there's a couple big roads, rather than like overpasses and things like that, they'll have these roundabouts. And wherever they have these roundabouts, even though sometimes they're in the middle of nowhere, they always have these little street vendor shops. And so they're pretty interesting, but a lot of people just with little food stands and whatnot, just selling their wares out by the street. Little produce, little
Floor mats. Steering wheel covers are big.
You see floor mats? Oh, there's floor mats over there. Bananas, Coco Frios, cashews.
Yeah.
So you can see all the little food stalls there. Here's the right turn. This is it.
Oh, we turned right back there, though.
Oh no, this is the... If you guys remember, on the way through, we stopped and got some cashews. We're coming back through the cashew area. And over here, you see on the side of the road, they're actually drying the cashews. And you see they got them raked out over there on the shoulder, and they're just drying them out. That's where we stopped on the way in. I know I don't say often enough, But we really appreciate y'all watching our videos, joining our journey, and a special thanks to those of you who contribute to us either through Patreon or our membership site, and even those of you who have helped send money to recover the drone. All those things are extremely important for us to keep filming, to keep editing, to keep gas in the tank. It's so important for our journey for you guys to watch our videos, so we appreciate you coming along. And we especially appreciate you guys leaving some comments and communicating. A lot of you we've been talking to now for, well, since we started YouTube. We're getting to know you, and we really appreciate the personal side of that. But we are headed to El Tunco. We are almost there. I'm sorry, but we stopped the video short. I know you guys have already seen a lot of El Tunco, but I promise you this next episode is going to grab you. Thank you for watching. Be sure to watch the next episode. It's going to be a good one. We will see you on the next one. Cheers.
If you liked this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when we put out new videos. To see behind the scenes action and help support our journey, head over to our YouTube membership page. You can find the link in the video description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in a few days.